have a friend who's helping me again today. She just discovered me and she is lonely. All right. So, my name is Jessica. I'm here with Beta Virtual Assistants. It is Thursday, and that means it is time for Thursday Tax Tips. We are here today to talk about crypto and taxes and all that sort of thing. I really do hate it when the video won't use the HD camera so it's the right size, and then it gets squished later. There you go. It's all good. Today, I'm all about exploring things and trying to figure things out. Oh, I cleaned up my own crypto accounts last night. It was so cool because every once in a while you just want to know where you are. Of course, just like how the story about the cobbler, the fairy tale or whatever, and the cobbler's too busy making shoes for everybody else that his family's running around barefoot. And so yeah, sometimes our family is the one that doesn't have the crypto taxes reconciled, but mine are reconciled for the moment, so that's feeling pretty good. I was looking at the list of topics that we've talked about before, and one of the ones that we haven't talked about recently is what type of transactions do you import into your crypto tax software? And I would say all of them. What are you kidding me? But you really do need to import all of them because whenever you have any receipts of crypto, they need to come in. And whenever you send crypto out, you need to put them in. We are helping clients also import things when they are sending money to platforms that aren't reporting that stuff to taxes, but it is investment related. We're helping our clients do that. There's a couple of these programs, you send them some money and then they trade it for you, and they trade it in futures, or they trade it in currencies, or they trade it in others, like all these different platforms that our clients are in. And we're like, yep, we can make that work. So what we do is we say, okay, you sent the money in, and then we might show some trades, we might not, depending on the platform and how long they stay there and how long it lasts. And then if that works, then when they get money out, we say, okay, and the money came out. So that is what we do with that. So what type of transactions do you import into your crypto tax software? And the answer is all of them. Yes, definitely. So we want all the trades because the trades are establishing the cost basis of the new coin, and they're establishing that you got rid of something. And anytime you get rid of something, in 95% of the countries in the world, I'm going to say, which is a very scientifically specific number, you definitely need to report any closing transactions. A lot of people think that they don't have to report until they trade back to their home currency, their fiat. But the fact of the matter is, and especially in the United States, they want to know absolutely every time you trade from one crypto to another, even if it's like USDT to USDC. Those two are stable coins. They're supposed to be exactly equivalent. So $100 of this is $100 of that. But they still want to know. So you say, okay, if you want to know, we will fill out the tax forms. And because it's all on the computer, all we have to do is push a button once everything's reconciled. And the tax form comes out and it's all pretty and it says, you have thousands of transactions to report. And I actually met with someone earlier today. I've been trying to chase her down, like a lot of our clients. She did not want to follow up on her crypto taxes. Nobody wants to deal with crypto taxes, especially right now with the market down and everybody's kind of depressed about how much money they lost. And so they're like, oh, I don't, if I pretend it doesn't exist, it won't bother me, right? But she did purchase our package to reconcile months and months and months ago, and we ended up running into a problem in the reconciling, and I said, we need to figure this out. And then she disappeared. And so I finally got together with her today, and really all we needed to do was go into the exchange where the problem was and look through. We got on Zoom together, and she pulled up her screen, and I said, okay, click there, let's find where this is. And we found it. We found what the problem is. There's just especially the people we seem to attract for our clients, they're always experimenting. And she had tried something where it was some kind of earning program or something. And for some reason, not all the transactions recorded like the other transactions. So we had a lot of the transactions, but not all of them. And so then we go, oh, okay, let's take screenshots of that. And then we can put the information into coin tracking. And now we have cost basis for the Bitcoin that was sent somewhere else. So we don't have to pay 100% gains on that. And we have an explanation for the Ethereum that magically appeared and then left and all this sort of thing. It's always interesting playing in such a new industry because everything is not organized, not clarified, and can get kind of messy. Unlike when you trade in your brokerage and you expect all your trades are going to be there, and at the end of the year they send you a statement and they say all your trades are there, and you like, I don't even question that. I question their numbers sometimes. So I do go through my brokerage statement and make sure that their numbers match my numbers, especially with some of my older trades that have been around a while. Like, did they get the right cost basis? I don't know. And most of the time they have it right. Or what's even better is when my number doesn't match, and then I figure out why it doesn't match. And then I go, oh, that's really cool. So I love figuring out, having those little pings when you figure out something. Is like, oh, yes, that is it. That is why it didn't match. And that is why it didn't make sense. Back to the original question, because I am trying to stay on topic a little bit. What types of transactions do you import into your crypto tax software? Most crypto tax softwares will import everything that comes in and everything that goes out, which is what you need. The problem with a lot of crypto tax softwares is they don't always know the whole story. So I was reconciling my accounts last night, and I have a Ledger account. And I talked about this earlier, actually, many Facebook Lives ago, when XRP was doing this little thing where it shot straight up. And I had some XRP that I had just moved out of KuCoin, and I moved it into my Ledger, and I wanted to trade out of it because I was like, look, it made money. I want to like save that. So I did. I traded out of it in my Ledger. And part of the problem with the Ledger is you can't really set a limit. Like, I like limit orders. You say, I want to sell it at this price, and then you wait. And usually it gets filled if you're kind of close in where the market's moving. But in the Ledger, it was just like, I want to sell it. And then you hope for the best. And you're watching it drop as you're selling it. And you're like, I hope it gets filled at a reasonable price. And it ended up, so I checked my account last night. Sure enough, when I sold it, I bought USDT, and USDT in the Ledger wallet is on the Ethereum network. So XRP left my account, and USDT came in the other side into my Ethereum account, and that means it doesn't show up as a trade. So now I've got USDT with no cost basis that I will pay 100% capital gains on if I ever sell it. And I've got an XRP trade that should be reported, and if the IRS figures it out and come after me, they'll be like, why didn't you report your XRP sale? And I'll be like, well, because the software didn't know. But because I know, and because I do this for other people, I can go, okay, so this is actually a trade. And then I can go into the software and make it tell the right story. So the XRP wasn't a withdrawal. The USDT wasn't a deposit. They were a trade. They go together. They match. Everything is cool. So that's all cleaned up, and that is really good. But then there was another situation I was working on last night where my favorite thing to tell you about is Swan Bitcoin. But so the software we work with and recommend doesn't play as well with Swan as it does with other companies. And so it doesn't have an automatic import. So we have to download the CSV and then import it into the software, and You have to put the data in the right columns and in the right format so it's read and understood and all that sort of thing, which is great. But last May, Swan switched providers for their service, and it turns out, and I still need to write them about this, but it turns out that the records in Swan are now only for the new transactions. Luckily, I had updated my transactions approximately 10 days before this happened. So I'm only missing about 10 days of data. But in the meantime, I know that I'm missing about 7 days of trades of $10 a day buying Bitcoin, which means I don't know how much I bought because I don't know what time I bought the Bitcoin. So I don't know what price the Bitcoin was when I bought it for $10. I know I spent $10 each day, but that's all I know. So someone like me, I know how to recreate and guess at the trades, and they'll be close enough, I think, for government work. Pretty sure. But in the meantime, I am going to write Swan and say, hey, did you realize that you are no longer providing information for all the purchases and trades that I had before the provider switched? That's kind of an issue. So because I'm sure we're going to have clients who turn up with the same problem who probably didn't download their transactions, may not have downloaded any ever, and then we would have to recreate everything from their first deposits all the way through to the change. Or they may have, just a little gap, hopefully small like mine, but not necessarily. Because if they were doing their taxes in April and then the thing happened at the end of May, it's like, well, that's 6 weeks of trades you're missing. So what kinds of transactions do you need to import? Well, you need to import the ones where you're getting a reward for opening an account. You need to import the ones where you're earning mining or interest. You need to report the ones where you have money come in from a loan, but it's not taxable. And then you send the money out to do something else. And so all of those transactions, they all tell the story of what's going on with your investments. And when you're invested in cryptocurrency, you're supposed to report all of that sort of thing. So I think that kind of covers it. And I certainly have been chattering a little. And my pal has decided to camp out over there now. So apologies for the weird video. Drives me nuts when it does that. I'm probably going to sign off now. But if you have questions, we are here every Tuesday and every Thursday. We love to talk about crypto taxes and how confusing it can be and how we can make your life simpler by reconstructing things that didn't import correctly, or by helping you figure out what the story of your money is if you can't figure it out. Like this person that I met with earlier today, she had no idea what the problem was. I say there's a giant negative thing on your balance sheet. You sent out, I think it was almost a Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin. It was a significant portion, and we don't want that to have no cost basis because we don't know where it came from. And it turns out it came from inside this account where it was earning interest. And so now I'm going to reconstruct that so the software is telling the right story now that we figured it out. But if you're looking at your stuff and you're confused and you have questions and you have no idea how to get help, that's what we do. So come talk to us. We love to meet people and answer questions that way, or you can come to one of our Facebook Lives and ask us questions in the comments. I do try to keep an eye on them even when they're bouncing around and doing weird things. And we are also here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 p.m. We have Saturday morning strategy calls at 10 a.m. We're working on getting these videos edited down and taking out all the weird gaps that I create and creating the correct transcript, because as I suspected, we did test this the other day. We uploaded a YouTube video and did the YouTube automatic captions, and it was so wrong. And we want the YouTube videos to actually be found by people, which means they have to have the right vocabulary and the right words and things like that. So if we go in and correct the transcript and upload that, it's much closer, but it does take time. So we are working on getting these up and onto YouTube, so look for that soon, and blog posts, and trying to find people out there to let them know that we are here and we are awesome. And there's a post today in our channel from one of my customers who said, that's it, you're official, you're a genius. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I'm meeting with a customer tomorrow. He's promised to give us an interview of his experience working with us and how awesome we are. So that's going to be fun and exciting too. So fun things going on around here. Hope things are good where you are, and got any questions, let us know, message us, do all that sort of thing, and we'll see you around.